Next, we have the King Legacy Award for Academic and Executive Leadership. That award honors leadership that expands access, strengthens institutions, and opens doors for the next generation. You know, it shouldn't have to be said, but I'll say it. Dr. King's movement was not just about equal treatment, it was about equal opportunity. It was about whether talent and potential are allowed to flourish or be blocked by barriers that have nothing to do with ability and everything to do with access. Education has always been central to that struggle. This year's recipient of this distinguished award is Dr. Jason Wingard, Executive Chairman of the Education Board. And to present his award, please welcome Frank Islam. He and his wife, Debbie Driesman, of the foundation are the diamond sponsor hosts for this year's breakfast. Thank you, Frank.
Hey, Jason, how are you? It's my profound honor to introduce Dr. Jason Wingard, the recipient of this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Award for Academia and Executive Leadership. Dr. King reminded us that a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Dr. Jason Wingard embodies that standard of leadership, bringing moral clarity to complex systems and aligning power with purpose in service of human dignity. Dr. Wingard is a globally respected active executive, scholar, and public servant whose career spans more than 30 years across the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. Over the course of this year, he has led institution and initiative encompassing tens of thousands of people and multi-billion-dollar enterprises, translating scale into service and authority into accountability. What distinguishes his work is not scale alone, but a consistent commitment of designing systems that award opportunity for others. Dr. Wingard served as the 12th president of the Temple University. That's a pretty good university.
We're the Owls.
Who's from Temple University? Oh, wonderful. Temple University becoming the institution's first African-American president, leading one of the nation's largest urban public universities. He advanced educational access, strengthened the governance, and deepened the university's engagement with the surrounding community. Earlier, as the Dean of the School of Professional Studies in Columbia University, Dr. Wingard launched new degree programs and nationally recognized high-impacted initiatives, including the Columbia HBCU Fellowship and the Columbia Girls in STEM Initiative program that respected and access to elite education, demonstrated measurable success, and have increasingly served as models for few institutions can align innovation, equity, and workforce relevance. Before running fully to the public service, Dr. Wingard brought his mission-driven leadership to the private sector as a managing director and chief learning officer at Goldman Sachs. He worked for Goldman Sachs also, shaping global leadership and talent strategy. I gotta go on and on. Maybe I will just try to make it a little bit shorter. In summary, Dr. Jason Wingard is a leader and a public servant, one who stands and expands the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through institution building, the thought leadership, and a steadfast commitment to human dignity. He is deeply deserving of this legacy award for academia and executive leadership. His leadership reminds us that democracy is sustained not only by those who govern, but by those who build the institution that make self-determination possible. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jason Wingard. He's a pretty good guy, man.
Let's move over here.
Got it? Hey, Paul, take my picture.
Do what he says, Paul. All right. Good morning, everyone. Frank, thank you very much for that very humbling introduction. And the formidable Madeline Lawson, thank you very much for these 34 years, and may your leadership continue so we can have this event for 34 more. I also want to thank my friends and colleagues who are here from the Potomac Community Foundation. They are here in force. Thank you all for being here. And last but not least, I want to thank my wife for her steadfast strength and partnership. And congratulations also to my fellow recipients. It's a profound honor to be recognized alongside such a distinguished group of civic leaders. Last semester, on the campus of Harvard University, I was sitting in Harvard Yard with a group of graduate students. As a former college president and dean, I've done this a million times. And to those of you who are educators, you've done this a million times. And for the topics that usually come up around anti-Semitism and gun control and mental health and career readiness, I was ready for that. Right? I'm always ready to sit with students and hear what they have to say about any and all of these topics. But on this particular day, I wasn't ready. I was challenged in a way that I had never been challenged before, and I don't say that lightly. Ebony is the name of the young woman who is a second-year law student at Harvard, and she was with this group of students. And she had a different urgency on that day. There was a different moral imperative that they all had that I just usually hadn't encountered. Dr. Wingard, why are you all so scared? You all with the power, with the positions, with the influence, why are you so hesitant to act right now in this moment when the stakes are so high? Why have you all abandoned the struggle? Her question wasn't an accusation, it was a diagnosis. And that diagnosis named something uncomfortable, something I couldn't defend. And it was that many people with influence today, people like me, people like all of you, we are choosing caution over courage at a moment when we need to be stepping up and doing more. So you see, we're living through a democratic emergency unlike anything most of us have ever seen. It's been said today, institutions are under pressure. Retaliation has been normalized. Truth is being contested, and our young people, they're looking to us. But too often these days, with those voice and authority that we have, we've been responding not with leadership, but with silence. Ebony was right. We're scared. Our actions show it. So today, in the spirit of Dr. King's legacy, and to respond to those students, I just want to pose 3 questions as moral tests of this moment. First question of 3. What happens to democracy when truth becomes negotiable? When facts are dismissed and expertise is attacked, telling the truth carries risk. But when telling the truth becomes optional, that's when democracy becomes fragile. I believe Dr. King would expect us to speak up publicly and fearlessly when truth is distorted, even if it costs us something. Question number 2. How long do you think we can afford to keep waiting? We're told to be patient, to let the courts decide, to wait for the next election, to trust that things will all just work out. But we need to understand delay is not neutral. Delay protects existing power arrangements and postpones accountability. That's when democratic erosion happens. I believe that Dr. King would expect us to defend democratic norms now rather than waiting for someone else or some future moment to do it for us. And question number 3, and it was said earlier today, what do we do when staying engaged feels exhausting? Many people are tired and tempted to disengage. I know that I am. But as Dr. King understood it, it was not only optimism, it was discipline. Democracy does not survive on energy alone. It survives on commitment. I believe Dr. King would expect us to remain engaged, voting, organizing, mentoring, teaching, leading, even when disengagement feels easier or safer. So that conversation I had at Harvard, it reminded me that leadership should not be measured by how carefully we protect ourselves, our status, our reputations, our stuff. It should be measured by how willingly we placed ourselves in service of something larger, even with consequences. Dr. King did not retreat when the work became exhausting, when the work became risky, or when the work became scary, and neither can we. So I accept this award with humility, not as recognition, but as a call to courage in a time of fear and a time of struggle. Thank you again for this honor. Now let's get to work.